Welcome to the Samurai Way podcast, where ancient wisdom fuels modern success. And I'm your host, Lori Sagawa, and this is your space to sharpen your mindset, strengthen your discipline, and live with purpose. Inspired by the Code of Bushido and my book, Let the Samurai Be Your Guide, each episode brings you powerful conversations and practical insights you can apply right away in your work, your relationships, and your daily life. This is about showing up with clarity, making decisions with courage, and building a life rooted in integrity. Because in a world full of noise and distraction, the Samurai Way cuts through, helping you focus on what truly matters. And if you're ready to lead with intention and take your next step forward, you're in the right space. So follow, share, and leave a review to help spread the message. Now, let's step onto that path, the Samurai Way. Konnichiwa, minasan. We are here again today with our guest, Kei Tsuda, and I am so excited to have him talk a little bit more about Ikigai, and he has something in store for you. So I'll let him guide us on this conversation. I'm new to some of this, and it's fascinating to me, but it's something that I'll share a little bit about it later. So please welcome back to the episode, or the Samurai Way podcast, and this extended episode with Kei Tsuda. So welcome back to the stage, Kei.
Thanks, Laurie. So I think what we want to talk about, right, as we are already entering this AI era, or highly technology-driven time, I think this Ikigai becomes less of a luxury, but more of this stabilizing inner compass.
Uh-huh.
And because the technology and the work and life situations are changing so rapidly, these external roles may continue to shift, but the human need for meaning, right, contribution, the connection, and growth, they don't go away.
Uh-uh.
And one of the things that I've been talking to a lot of people, like I actually, interact in the context of maybe coaching or counseling situations, or just having a casual conversation with my friends or new people I get to know through LinkedIn and other like technology again, right? Is this concept of Iwakan. Iwakan in Japanese is basically it's a sense that something is off, or I may be able to explain it. Maybe it's like a little inner friction you feel when somebody says something, or when you're in a certain situation. Now, culturally, right, different cultures have different ways of dealing with this Iwakan. Some of the cultures, they will not hold on to it. They're kind of encouraged to explain that they're feeling this little inner friction and explicitly communicate with the people that you're communicating with, or the people you're being surrounded by. Japanese, on the other hand, tends to kind of a trap inside, right? They're feeling it. They're feeling this Iwakan, but they don't say it, and sometimes they train themselves to hold it in and not even make any changes in their demeanor or expressions. And that's where I'm starting to kind of find this key to finding and feeling Ikigai, is that every time we feel this Iwakan, again, sense that something is off. Yes, I'm not saying everybody should burst out loud and say, hey, I feel friction, right? I don't feel right. That's not what I'm saying, but you want to hold on to it and reflect on it a little bit, even a little bit later, or even immediately. Because that's somewhere I think we can find the cause of that, right? The friction. And if you can understand it a little bit better, it's going to do good for ourselves, and actually the relationship you may be trying to develop with this other set of people. And I think that's going to become more and more important today just like this, through technology, we can connect through cultures, through time zones, and more people are going to work with people with diverse, different background. So these cultures come together and work together. I mean, I guarantee it. A lot of people are going to start feeling this Iwakan. So
Mhm.
how do we, you know, make ourselves ready for it, and how do we handle it together, right, in a meaningful way? I think that's going to become more and more important, and that kind of ties to the Ikigai concept to some extent, because part of the Ikigai, I may actually bring up Miyako Kamiya's again the findings or the teachings again. The Ikigai has a tendency to form value structure in ourselves,
Mhm.
and that value structure is different per person. I mean, it's unique, and then it'll probably get influenced by a lot of the cultural background and teachings. So if that is the case, and if the Ikigai already says that we each have different value structures, well, how do we correlate or align? It's not like we want to make it the same. We don't have to, but
Right.
to find the overlap or find the commonality in that value structure, I think key to developing good or great working relationship. And like us, Lori, I mean, you and I, yes, we are kind of both Japanese, but totally different upbringing.
Mhm.
And also, the generational gap exists too, right?
Mhm.
Because I consider you as my onesan, right? My big sister,
Yes.
right? So, and I think that's the discussion we need more of. And thanks to your podcast, we can have one here in this kind of space, and we call it the basho, right? You're creating this basho that this kind of honest discussion can take place. I wonder how many workplaces or even families have a basho like this today, because it's so busy and
Yes.
everybody's looking at smartphones, and so oftentimes even the family is traveling together, right? Like parents trying to lead the way and the kids looking at the smartphone screens, not listening, right? So we have to kind of sometimes put down those technology pieces and get together, get in the room, and have a discussion around, okay, how are we feeling? What is that sense of a little bit of a something is off, and then try to explain it to each other. And that, I think, that's all it takes to make that deeper connection today.
I like that. What you talked about, something being a little off. This is a little fetched, but when I think of going to a Japanese restaurant and getting teriyaki chicken,
Yeah,
right? I never saw it very often. I
yeah,
saw karaage and yakitori, but not teriyaki chicken.
yeah. Well, I think you're right, and that's that little bit of the something is off. And
Mm-hmm.
I just got it from you too, because we'll never call uh you know the skewered chicken, right? We call it yakitori. And then, yes, there is a sweet glaze on it in most of them too. But then we never thought about calling it teriyaki chicken.
Hmm.
It's always yakitori.
Yakitori.
It's a flavor. And then teriyaki chicken in America is usually like a big piece,
Mhm. Yes.
right?
Love is a sauce.
Even that a little bit is different, because in Japan, I think teriyaki sauce uh, tends to be thinner.
Mm-hmm.
And I personally prefer the chicken to be cooked like in a crisp side, not like immersed in this goop or the
Yeah.
like a thick sweet sauce.
And especially over rice. And I tell my husband, don't put that on your rice when you're eating in Japan.
Yeah, I mean it's a little things, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we're being picky. I think we're just noticing again something is off or something is a little different. And if we can open up and have a conversation, I think a lot of interesting things are going to start to happen. you
I
know,
think so too.
across cultures.
Hmm.
So
It's so
I,
needed today.
I think so. I think so.
And I shared with you a little bit earlier about how I studied Ikigai, the Venn
Mhm.
diagram, and I said, four, that's not Japanese. It has to be five or three. And they
Right.
do that throughout their ingredients. They do so many things as the one, three, five, seven, nine. Uh,
Yep. Yeah. I do avoid number four.
oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah. And of course, some people probably know that when you visit Japan, some hotels they don't have fourth floor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they build it so that like a first floor is like a lobby or the check-in counters, and then second, and then they have banquet halls usually, and
Yes.
those rooms have tall roofs or tall ceiling,
Hmm.
so they take up the third and fourth floor to build it, and then fifth onward is the regular like a rooms for people to stay in.
Wow. I'll have to notice that next time I'm there.
Yeah. So and then of course in America, I think certain buildings will not have the floor 13.
Hmm.
Similar thing. So
That's
four is a number
interesting.
we do skip. You're right.
I don't know what it is about it. We mentioned these little subtle nuances, but I tell people don't put soy sauce on your rice. It's just not. That would
Well,
be a little bit. Um,
well, unless it's a fried rice, right? If you're cooking fried rice, yes, a little bit of the soy sauce would go on, but then like a bowl of white rice and pour soy sauce, yeah, that I think is usually considered a little bit of a bad form.
that's what I thought too. I
Right.
was told
But
it was not
then,
good manners.
if you do it in Japan, they might, make a little bit of an eye move. It's like, but then they're not gonna, point you out for it. It's like, huh,
Or would they
Lori,
ever
what?
do this kind of like? Did they ever do that,
I
or is
don't.
that more in
If it's a
conversation?
public place, I don't think so.
Okay.
They'll act as if nothing has happened.
Okay.
So yeah,
They're very
that
polite. They wouldn't say much.
yeah, in a way, right? It's again, it's like overplay.
Mhm.
I think, and I'm so again, I'm a cultural hybrid. I lived and grown up mostly in America now. So when I see those little things, and if I feel that like a benefit of the person to become aware, I do approach and let the people know. I mean,
Mhm.
not in a complaining fashion, right? It's like,
Right.
hey, just so you know, like it's not considered, like that how to use chopstick even.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
You don't
sometimes
stab.
yes, yeah. Some people like leave it in the rice bowl, and I'll basically sit them aside and say like, just so you know, that's like bad luck.
I didn't know that was bad luck, but I knew it was not acceptable to do that.
Yeah. Well, actually, I think that bad luck kind of even statement comes from the old style of teaching. I think, like when I was a little, I used to kind of play with chopsticks, as a kid, and with rice ball, you can make pretty good noise, right? Ding 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 ding. When I was doing that, my grandma will always say, "Okay, goblins are gonna come out and get you." And as
Sorry.
a little kid, I'm going like, "What? Like a goblin's gonna all of a sudden appear?" And well, that's basically my grandmother's way of saying that's bad manners. Stop doing it. But
Hmm.
it turns into this kind of a little bit of a little short story and teachings.
Interesting.
So
Sounds like you learned a lot from your grandmother.
yes, I have even cooking. She
I
was the
learned a
best
lot from
cook I
my
know.
grandmother too.
Yeah.
I was only 6 when she passed away, but I can remember so many of the things that she did and kind of showed me. I don't remember her speaking to me much. I think she tried to teach me Japanese, but my parents didn't. So it was really hard for me, but
Mm.
I eventually figured it out. But she put a love in about the Japanese way in me.
Mhm.
And I didn't realize that until I got a little older.
Me too. So I think at the time I was getting all these, a little bit of a scolding or teaching. I didn't realize it, but when I started reflecting back as I got older, a lot of it is coming from those older generations of Japanese folks,
Hmm.
and we actually carrying forward a lot of it,
Oh,
and
that's
hope
wonderful.
and hopefully, even though I don't use that gobbling, story to make my daughters stop from. I mean, my daughters weren't like me; they were somewhat grown up proper, so they never played with the eating utensils type of thing. But again, those are the things that we're gonna have to pass on to the next generation, I think.
Hmm. And how do you pass this on in your work?
Whoa, that's a really good question. I may be able to write a book out of that because I
Oh,
I have consciously or subconsciously I've been trying to pass on some of these concepts or teachings to my coworkers and like my team members.
hmm,
But I never used ikigai as a keyword because I have to explain if I do that. So I will try to turn it into some kind of a lesson learned type of tidbits and try to incorporate. So one of the thing I can probably tell you a story about how I use food as a topic of conversation with most anybody in the work context. Like you have small talks, and my go-to is always food
hmm.
because food is something that everybody eat. Whether
Universal.
if they like cooking, great. I'll get into the what are you gonna cook tonight type of discussion. If they don't like cooking, I,
Looks like we've frozen now. And now,
Yes, Lori, I hear you.
just
okay.
realized that like
Oh, you
my
know what? I'm
grandmother,
sorry.
yeah,
We need to cut. It was frozen for a little bit. So could you go back? And
yeah,
she's going to have to splice a little bit. And you were
okay.
talking about food and um, if the person likes to cook, great. If they like to eat, and how you can start over again and she could splice it.
Yeah. So is it running now? Is it
Is it okay
Yes.
recording?
now? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Thanks, no. So then I'll kind of go back to Lori, you asked me about like how do I pass on some of these kind of concepts and ideas in a work context, right? So one thing it came to me just now is I use food as a topic on my
Yes.
conversation with my team members and coworkers a lot and repeatedly because food is something that everybody eat every day.
Mhm.
And if somebody likes to cook, I'll get into the cooking aspect of it also because I love to cook. If they don't like to cook, I can always ask for their favorite food now and also even from like the childhood. So I always talk about while growing up, I love this food in Japan, and that brings up a lot of good memories in people. And just like before, right, Laura, you and I were talking about our grandmothers. There's always somebody, mother, father, grandmother, brother, or sister, who may have influenced their the food aspect of life, and those things naturally come out by including food in the conversation. So my small talks usually with my team members has always been food.
Hmm. Interesting.
Yeah.
That's really interesting.
And besides, right, a lot of people feel, I think, whether they realize it or not, ikigai when they're eating their favorite food or cooking them or serving them to somebody. So
Speaking of favorite food, do you have a favorite food in of Japanese? Like you like natto? You like
I do like
oden?
natto, but like if I say favorite food,
Or one of the favorites?
well, I have too many favorites. So what I would bring up is one of the food I miss the most living in the US is grilled fish.
Oh, mm.
It's kind of simple. I mean, in Japan, there are so many fish that's already cut open and dried for a day or longer time duration, and you just bring it home and grill it. And the Japanese actually grill tops do have a special compartment even to you know do the grilled fish in most cases. But in the States, because there isn't much demand, I don't find them. And also, it's not something I'm about to buy the raw fish, cut open myself, and hang it on the by the window and make my own. So that's what I miss the most. And then when I'm in Japan, which I'm now right now, I tend to go to a restaurant and order like different types of grilled fish, like lunch meals.
Mm. Oh, you're making me hungry. I love Japanese food.
I
The
mean,
more I
today,
eat it,
right?
the more I like it.
Yeah. Today we can make most of them, and the local grocers even carry a fair amount of Japanese ingredients now. So we are lucky that way.
Mm.
Well, Lori, when we get to meet like real face to
Mhm.
face, we ought to figure out a way so that I can make you a meal, like your
Oh, that
favorite
would be
dishes,
wonderful.
my way. I think that'd be interesting, right?
My
That
dad loved Japanese food, and his saba his was his favorite.
Saba. Yeah, I
Uh-huh.
love I love that fish too. Yeah, Saba is really good, even grilled. And then my favorite way of Saba serving style will be flavored with miso.
Oh. Hmm.
Miso ni, it's like kind of cooked in the miso broth, and then and garnished with a little bit of a sliced ginger.
Mm.
So it's like a ginger miso flavor. Goes really well with buttered white rice.
Without the shoyu on top, right?
Well, because miso has already a strong flavor, you probably don't need
You don't
additional,
need it. No.
right? It's already flavored to the like nearly perfection that it goes perfectly with the white
Mhm.
rice.
And just like the culture, I think that the Japanese food is very subtle and really good. And so my mom did not like to cook Japanese food. She loved
Oh,
Chinese food. She
mm,
says it was so sweet. But we had rice almost every meal because my dad liked it so much. And
yeah.
we'd have a kind of a Japanese version of beef and broccoli or chow mein or
Mm,
mugugai pan. She would do that. Egg foo young, but she was a fantastic cook. But
mm.
Japanese
Now,
food was a little too sweet for her, she said.
now you're making me hungry.
It's time to finish and finish the episode so we can go eat, right?
But I mean, just like this, I mean that's why I love bringing up food in my conversation with my coworkers because there's always something that people can talk about, and it brings back nostalgia. It brings back
Yes.
their relationship with their family and friends.
Hmm.
So it's really a good kind of a trigger or the entry point to having a good conversation, I find.
It is. It's really a good. I mean, everybody likes food. Everybody has to eat, and we all have our favorites, and we like to
Yeah.
experiment. I love to. It's really in my DNA. My maternal grandfather left Japan at 16 because he did not want to be part of the family orchard. There
Mm,
were 8 boys in the family, and he says, I want to cook. And so he goes to America, and that's what he did.
mhm,
And the other brother stayed in Japan. One of the eight, two of the eights were, I guess you call rebels, and the other one did had Matsusaka beef in
mm.
Matsusaka. He had
Yeah.
a cattle ranch. So there's so much we can talk. You'll have to come back, Ken. Okay, I'm sorry. You'll have to come back. I would love to continue this conversation, but I think we'll leave it. Leave it for the next conversation. I can hardly
Yeah.
wait. You share your favorite recipes, and you can demonstrate cooking or something.
So your podcast going to start like the food selection.
Most people don't really know what real Japanese. If you eat Japanese food here in the states, most of it is not very authentic unless you go to a restaurant that is owned and run by Japanese people.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
Yeah, like many foods from overseas, right? It does get somewhat Americanized, is I
Yes, it
think what
does.
how
Pizza.
people call it. But there are some places that you can find who does authentic Japanese cooking, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But but then commercially, right? It doesn't become successful. You have to adjust it to the local crowd, and that's what
Right.
happens, I guess. Yep.
Yes, we have a couple of restaurants in Seattle that I love. I really like them.
Well, then
some
when
of
I
them
get
I'd
to
rather
visit
not.
you, we'll go to get together.
Okay, that would be great. Kampai.
Yeah.
So I would like to thank our guest. It's a wrap, and actually, Kay, if you would like to wrap up and share something, some wisdom for the end before we wrap up, but we will be having on the podcast information how to get a hold of him and his website and any way that we can help support him too. So please share a little bit about your wisdom before we call this a wrap.
Okay. Well, I think I'll keep it short then. I would say don't ignore your Iwakan. That's
Mm-hmm.
the feeling that something is off, or you're feeling some inner friction. Again, you don't have to communicate that out loud all the time, but I think you need to take a mental note somewhere and reflect on it a little bit later, because I think those feelings of Iwakan is going to find, I would say, the potential seeds of your Ikigai moving forward. So that'll be my parting message for the audience.
It's a great parting message. And I'm wondering if any of you are out there hungry right now because I am. Our family always laughed. That's what our family is about. We always chuckled and laughed and made jokes, but always had fun. So I want to thank each and every one of you listeners out there for joining us in the Samurai Way podcast. Or if you're on YouTube and you got to see this, that's fine too. But I would love to have Kei back and talk more about Ikigai and anything. We may even talk about food. Who knows? So thank you for joining us. Please subscribe, like, and share it with your friends and people that are interested or would like to know more about the Japanese way or the samurai way. So that's a wrap for tonight. And I want to say, mata ne. Thank you so much for being here. And thank you, Kei, for being a wonderful guest. And just sharing all your information about the two cultures. I think it's really interesting. So thank you so much. Thank you, domo arigato, for listening to the Samurai Way podcast. Now it's your turn. Take what you learned today and put it into practice because knowledge has no power unless it's applied. So if this episode resonated with you, please share it with someone who would benefit from it. And be sure to follow, like, and leave a review. It helps us reach more people walking this path. Until then, next time, stay disciplined, stay focused, and continue living the samurai way.